Engaged lessons for the 21st century.
Kahoot is a fun and exciting way to make a presentation to your class on what they have been studying and or learning. As you can see in the background, it's extremely important that you have all the students connected to the internet, and they may use a laptop, desktop, or iPad. And you as the teacher will have a computer connected to an LCD projector, and so all the students may see what the questions are. Now the nice thing about this is they're learning and competing at the same time. You'll notice that on the screen what we've done here is we're going to log in for Kahoot. I've already have a class set up, and you can do the same thing. It's fun and it's free to do. As I said before, when you sign in, you use your email and your password, and you should be all set because this is free. Once you're logged in, you have several choices here. You can have a quiz, a discussion, and or a survey. You click on the one you want. I'm going to choose a quiz. To make this easy for us, I typed in addition, that's the title. And this lesson is designed to allow students to learn basic addition. Now this is important. You can, and I'll show you how to do this, you can create an image. And I'll show you how to do that. You create the image and you can place it in PowerPoint and save it as a JPEG and use the image or images throughout your lesson. That's a great way to do it. Or you can just simply type in the question and have the students find it out. Now, you'll notice that we have everyone, English, and we'll select our audience here in a second. Hopefully all of that made sense. You will also notice that we can have an image, if we'd like, to place at the very beginning of our Kahoot. And we can also have a video if we would like to do that. But you decide, make this first one as simple as possible, and then we'll continue on with the rest of this presentation. When you've completed entering all the information you want, up here at the top, just simply click on OK, Go. And like I said, we could have customized, but maybe we'll do that later. Now, we can add our first question. Now, as I stated before, you might want to create an image. Here's PowerPoint. I'm going to click on Layout and hit blank. So I have a blank page. Now, what I would like to do for my background is I'm going to click on Format Background, and you have to make this so it's available or easy for people to read. I chose Picture or Text Box. I'm going to click on my down arrow, and the one that I truly like is this one. And I'm going to get Apply to All. Then over here I'm going to have multiple pictures. I just simply hold down my Control key and hit Control D and dupe if I want to, and I'll duplicate the picture. However, in this example, let's place an equation in here, and I'm going to use Insert and a text box, and I'm going to type in a very simple equation right here. Okay, I typed in an equation. As you can see, 5 plus 3 equals, I'm going to highlight this, hit bold, and make this a lot larger so the kids in the back of the room can see it. That's a pretty good size. The best format or font you may want to use is Comic Sans. So I'm going to scroll down to Comic Sans and click on that. So now we have 5 plus 3. Don't put the answer here because that's going to be the choice you're going to make later. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to right click and I'm going to have set default text box. And that means every time now when I duplicate this, it will be that same size. So I'm going to hit Control D to duplicate this, And then this one, I'm going to put 3 plus 3 equals. Then go over here, hit Control D to duplicate, and then I might want to save this one to 7 plus 3 equals. And then Control D to duplicate, and maybe make this math question 4 plus 3 equals. Now you can make these pictures, stories, whatever you like, but as you can see, we're making this relatively easy for them to use. The next thing we want to do is save these as a JPEG. But in order to do that, it's very wise for you to save your PowerPoint first in case you make a mistake. Then you can always go back and change it. Let me set up an area to save this. Okay, I created a folder and I called it Pictures for Lessons. And then inside here, I'm going to save my presentation, and I'm simply going to give it a name. Add. Okay, and hit save. Next, what I want to do is save each one of these as a JPEG. To do that, I'm going to click on the word File, Save As, and then you'll notice it says Add here, but I'm going to click on my down arrow and go to JPEG and simply hit Save. And when that happens, it'll say, do you want just the one slide? We'll save every slide. So when we do that, each slide now has been saved. Okay, let's see if what we did is correct. You'll notice that I'm in that folder, Pictures for Lessons, and here we have our PowerPoint. But if I click here, you'll notice these are all slides. These are all JPEGs. So these are the pictures that we can use in our presentation. They're clear, they're easy for the students to see. Don't make them too complex. Make them so that they're very simple and easy for anyone in the room to visually see them. Now when you come up to this screen, you're going to want to add a question. So I'm going to click right here. You'll notice that we have up here, you're going to add the question, and over here it tells you that how much time you want per question, and you want them rewarded with points, and the answer is yes. Let's get an image. It could either be a video, but as you well know, we made some images. So I'm going to click here, and here's the first image we want, 5 plus 3, and hit open. Now that image will be presented to the kids. So up here, the question is, what? Let me type it, then we'll... Okay, I wanted to type it first so you don't wait. What is the answer, obviously, to this question? Up here, we'll say the first one, let's make the first one correct. I'll say 8, and I put a check mark there. That means that one's correct. Then we can place the number, if we want 5 here, over here we can place the number 3, and then we can place the number 10, if you'd like. Now, obviously, the students that picked this question with the check mark, because that's correct. Okay? Now, if that's what you like and you're all set, you can always go back and edit it. Let's simply go over and also replace this picture too, or remove it if you made a mistake. They give you many, many variables. Click on the next question. Okay, add a question. Again, I'm going to add, and this time I'll take slide number 2, 3 plus 3, and hit open. And then I'm going to type in here, let me hit F. What is the answer? Again, 20 seconds, yes. And the first answer, let's say the answer is 3. And for answer number 2, let's say 0. And over here we'll say 6. That's the correct answer. So I'll place a check mark. And over here, let's say 12. Okay. Now, if this is correct, remember you can always edit everything later on. This is question 2. Let's click on the next question. So you have 2 questions, and we're going to add another one. Just like before, click here, question number 3, hit open, and then up here you'll type in what is the answer. 20 seconds. And remember, if you click here, you can make it longer if it's a tough question. For the first one here, obviously the answer is 10, but I'm going to say 8. And then over here for number 2, I'll say 10. That's the correct answer, so I'll place a check mark. And over here, I'll say 4. And for over here, whatever you want, I'll say 9. Okay. If this is the correct answer, and this is what you want, just simply continue on by going to next. Now you can see this is question number 3, and what we've done, we can continue on if you like, but let's not do that. Let's stop with just 3 questions because the rest of them will be basically the same. You can see it's a nice option to have the pictures so everybody in the back of the room can see what's going on. Okay, we have several options here. We can edit what we've done, which we don't know if you made a mistake yet. We will preview it or play it. Obviously, let's preview it to see if what we have is correct. And once I hit preview, this screen will appear. We have the classic mode and the team mode. You probably want to use the classic mode. Game options, when you click on this, you can randomize. You can do a lot of very neat things here if you'd like. But let's leave it just the way it is. Okay? And I'm going to click on classic. When I do that, what's going to happen is it's going to go into like it's normally going to run. Now, I'll show you this a little bit later on, but your students must log into their section of Kahoot. And when they do that, they will be presented with a number that you'll see here in a second. And once they're presented with the number, they will type in their name, and this will enable them to log into Kahoot. Okay? Let's look at this and see what I'm talking about. Okay, ready to join? There we go. Here's the number though. Let me lower this volume. On the speaker. Let's turn this almost off. Okay, now in Kahoot, you'll notice here's the number that they'll need. Okay, and what you will do is have them go to a website for Kahoot, and I'll show you where that is a little bit later on. They'll type in this number. Let me do that right now. Okay, I typed in the number 462940 after I went to the website. Now, I'm just simply going to type in my name, and in doing so, you'll notice my name will appear. Now, all of your students, this will happen. So if you have 20, 36 kids, they'll all appear right here. So then you know when you're ready to start. Click on Start. Now remember, the kids will all be watching this. And what's going to happen is it's going to say question 1 of 3. What is the answer? Remember, we typed that in. And what's nice about having the picture, 5 plus 3, here's the countdown timer, right? The students will pick by looking at the diagram, not only the number, but you have the area with the shape. I'm going to click on 8, and it says I'm done. Now, depending upon how many students, this will be the number 28 or 30, and this will show you how many students have it incorrect. Now, what you can do, which is really nice, is show and go over the answer with them. When you click here again and go to next, it will show all the students listed and the total number of points. Now, the sooner they hit the answer, the more points they will receive. Simply click on next and go to the next question. And again, when you do that, by having the picture, it makes it really easy. 3 plus 3. Again, you can see that it will list all the answers. What I'm going to do, instead of saying 6, I'm going to say 3 again. And it shows you that I have it in. Here's what I hit, and it's obviously incorrect. The correct answer is the one right here. Okay, let me hit next for the next question, and here's my points. Didn't get any. So the last one we have, question number 3. What is the answer? Again, same basic idea. 7 plus 3 is equal to 10. So I look down here and I find it, and on my computer, I simply click on either with a mouse or a touchscreen, hit the answer, and the sooner you hit the answer, the more points you receive. So it really does an awful lot for you. Simply click on next. Here's my total number of points. Hit end, and it tells which student is the highest number of points or who won. So there's competition involved as well. Now, let me go on and show you exactly where the link is for Kahoot. Now, to enable the students to get to the website, you can do this from several resources. But here's one. I'm going to type in weschools.org, look for students, scroll down to technology resources, and what we can do here is click on Teacher's Toolbox. If I do that, it will appear right here. This is Kahoot for you to create your lesson, and this is Kahoot for the students when they wish to log in for your quiz. Let me go back. Now, live links. This is another link or links that I placed here to enable you to do many different things. I'm going to click on it, and you'll notice that what I have here for your students, I have quite a few things, but find the word Kahoot. Click on that, and then when you do it, the website will appear. And when the kids log in, they'll see a number up on your screen. They'll type in your number, and then they'll enter in their name, and then they'll be logged in. Hopefully that makes sense. One more thing that might be useful to you. Here's live links again. I'm going to click on that, and you'll notice that we have a lot of things for you to look at. However, all you need to do is look up here at the top. If you would copy this and paste it into or onto your desktop on your computers, or give it to your kids, they will have access to all these links. And what's nice about this, it covers everything, and it's extremely quick for them to get to. So it's a direct connection to everything that you see labeled on here. Hopefully that made sense. And what's nice is when I update this, your link updates immediately, so you don't have to worry about it. And if there's something you want on here that you don't see, just simply email it to me. I'll place it up here so your kids will have instant access to this. Thank you. And I hopefully that this Kahoot presentation works out well.